Hello students, welcome back. This is Dr. Mercado once again. We're going to continue on the same topic that we were before. This is Chapter 10, Accounting for Sales and Cash Receipts. This lecture is going to be covering exercise 10.6a. Okay, I want to emphasize before I start my lecture to please read the chapter. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, I'm going to try to help as much as I can, provide us necessary guidance. That way you understand the content. Now, this is accounting. We don't learn accounting by just listening to me mamble about it. Okay, we actually learn it by doing it. So the more practice we get on it, the better. I recommend that when you're completing your homework, I do give you 2 tries. If you don't score a 70% or greater on your first attempt, please utilize the second attempt to practice some more, as well as to try to improve your grade for the assignment. Okay, I will always keep the highest grade earned. Okay, but the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. Okay, so moving on. I don't want to take too much of your time. In this particular lecture, I am going to be covering exercise 10.6a. And this particular problem is very similar to the last one we covered, but it's focusing only on sales transactions. So we're going to practice sales transactions entry for 4 different dates. Okay. So it says, enter the following transactions in a general journal, and we're using a 6% sales tax rate. Okay. And then we have the different transactions. Now, I've had students get confused. When it says on account, it means that we gave the merchandise to the customer and the customer agreed to pay us at a later point in time. So at that point that the sale was made, there was no exchange of currency. We didn't receive any money. Because we did not receive any money, we have to account for it somehow. We have to keep track of all of the money that is owed to us. So in order for that to happen, we set up a receivable, an accounts receivable. Okay, and we have an accounts receivable for each of our customers. That way we know, okay, how much does Maria, Fernando, Pedro, Juan, every single customer owes us. So we have to have a receivable for each of our customers. Okay, so what is an accounts receivable? Because this is something that confuses students a lot. Accounts receivable and accounts payable get students confused. Okay, accounts receivable is a balance that is owed to us, the firm, for goods or services delivered or used but not yet paid by customers. Okay, accounts receivable is an asset, a current asset, and it's basically any amount of money that is owed by the customers for purchases made on credit. So whenever you see the word on account, it means, okay, they bought it and they're going to pay me later, but I still need to go in there and record the amount. That way I don't forget about it. Okay, so that was just a little bit background about accounts receivable. So let's see what's going to happen here. What is happening on May the 1st? Let me see. Okay, so May the 1st, it says here that you sold merchandise on account to J. Adams, $2,000 plus sales tax. And this is for sale number 488. Okay, so you sold merchandise on account. So every time that we sell anything on account, we're going to debit our accounts receivable. And this is for J. Adams. Okay. Okay. It also, we have to record the sale. Okay, how much did we sell to this customer? So we have to record our sales. And we also have to collect our taxes. Okay. Now, sales is going to be a credit and my sales tax payable is going to be a credit. So those are indented. So this is just the format. The debits are flushed all the way to the left, and then the credits are a little bit indented. Okay. That's just for purposes of us identifying easily what's a debit and what's a credit. Okay. So let's start off with the sales. How much of merchandise did we sell to Adams on account? Well, it says here that we sold $2,000. So my sales is going to be a credit of $2,000. Sales is a revenue account. It has a normal balance of a credit. Okay. Now we need to figure out how much taxes we need to collect on that sale. Well, we made a sale of $2,000, and I'm going to multiply it by my tax rate of 6%. And that gives me $120. Okay, of taxes. Okay, so how much does J. Adams owe me? Well, J. Adams owe me the $2,000 of the merchandise plus the $120 of the taxes. So Adams owes me $2,120. Okay, and then this is cell number 488. So that happened on May the 1st. Okay, let's move on to May the 4th. Okay. On May the 4th, you sold merchandise on account to B. Clark for $1,800 plus taxes. Cell number 489. Okay. Every single time that you have a sell on account with taxes included, those are the three accounts that are going to be affected. It's not going to change. The only thing that changes are the dollar amounts. Okay. But accounts receivable will always be debited, sales will always be credited, and sales tax payable will always be credited. So, how much did we sell to Clark on account? Well, we sold $1,800. Okay. Now, how much taxes is Clark responsible for on those $1,800? Well, we get those $1,800 and we multiply times 6%, and that gives me $108 of taxes. Okay. So I'm going to put my 808 in taxes into my sales tax payable. So then how much does Adams owe us? Well, Adams owes me $1,800 of merchandise and $108 of taxes. So Adams owes me $1,908. Okay. And this is cell number 489. Okay. On the 8th, okay, we sold merchandise on account to A. Duck, for $1,500 plus tax. This is cell 490. Okay, so once again, we have those three accounts being affected. I just copy and paste because that never changes. Now, the amount of my sell for the 8th was $1,500. Okay, and then I have to collect the taxes as well. So we have $1,500 and my tax rate is 6%. That gives me $90 in taxes. Okay. So how much does, and then this is not Adams, this is Duck. We have to change it. We have to be very careful. Why? Because every customer has its own. Look, I hadn't even changed this one over here. What's going on, Miss Mercado? Okay. We have to make those updates because if not, it's going to be incorrect. So the second one is B. Clark. The first customer is Adams. The second customer is Clark. The third customer is Duck. Okay. There we are. Now we're good. Okay. You see? So those are simple mistakes that we make. We need to select the correct name of the customer. Okay. So how much does Duck owes us? Well, Duck owes me $1,500 of merchandise and $90 of taxes. So Duck owes me $1,590. Okay. And this is cell number 490. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the May 11th transaction, and we have those three accounts. I'm just going to update the name, and the name for the fourth transaction is E. Hill. Okay. Okay, so we sold merchandise on account to E. Hill for $1,950 plus tax, cell number 491. Okay, so how much did we sell on account? We sold $1,950. Okay, Hill is responsible for taxes. Okay, so we're going to get the $1,950 times the 6% tax rate, and that's going to give me taxes of $117. Okay, so how much does Hill owe me? Well, Hill owes me $1,950 of merchandise plus $117 of taxes. That means that Hill owes me $2,067, and that is for cell number 491. Okay. So this one was fairly easy because you're doing the same transaction over and over. And what is that helpful for? For memorization. Repetition helps you remember what is it that you have to do. Okay. So we've done 4 journal entries of the same type of transaction, which is journalizing sales transactions on account. So every single time that you see that a sale was done on account and there's tax included, this is what you have to do. You have to debit your accounts receivable. You have to credit your sales and then credit your sales tax payable for the amount of the tax. The sales is the amount of the actual merchandise that you're purchasing that is being purchased from us. The sales tax payable represents the tax, and the tax rate is provided on the problem as to how much we're going to pay on it. Okay, and then we have to set up a receivable for that transaction, And that accounts receivable is going to be for the sum of the sale plus the taxes. Okay, and then that's the total that the customer owes us. We need to collect the amount of the merchandise being purchased, and we also have to collect for the taxes that have to be paid to the different taxing entities. Okay, so that is the second problem for that I'm going to be going over. And if you have any questions, like I mentioned before, please let me know. Please make sure that you read the chapter, that you follow the examples provided, that you utilize the resources provided by Cengage, such as the little show me how videos embedded in some of your homework problems, and make sure that you meet your deadlines. Look at your syllabus, have it printed out, have it handy. That way you're able to know what do I have to do this week, and I can be able to meet my deadlines. Okay? So that is basically it for this lecture. Um, until next time, thank you very much.